Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I'm back with another album review. I said I was going to do it, because I am reviewing all of Metallica's albums in chronological order, and it's time for me to review Death Magnetic. That's right, Death Magnetic. So Death Magnetic is Metallica's ninth studio album. It was released in September 12th, 2008, and this was quite some time after Saint Anger, which, if you haven't seen my review of Saint Anger, I'll provide a link to it down below. I guess you could say I was definitely one of the few who actually enjoyed Saint Anger. But yeah, if you want to know more, check out my review of that. So, as far as Death Magnetic goes, I'll go ahead and give the track listing and do like I always do, talk about 5 of my favorites. First track is titled That Was Just Your Life. Second is titled The End is the Line. Third is Broken, Beat, and Scarred. Fourth is The Day That Never Comes. Fifth is All Nightmare Long. The sixth track is titled Cyanide. Seventh track is The Unforgiven III. The eighth track is titled The Judas Kiss. Ninth is Suicide and Redemption, and that is the instrumental track on this album. And last, the 10th track is titled My Apocalypse. So there you go. As far as the length of each of these songs, each track averages about, I would say, between 5 to 7.5 minutes long, with the exception of Suicide and Redemption, the instrumental song. That is 9 minutes and 58 seconds long, almost 10 minutes long. So that's definitely the longest track on this album. As far as my favorites go, my fifth favorite is All Nightmare Long. My fourth is The Judas Kiss. My third favorite is The Day That Never Comes. That was kind of a big one that came out. I think it was either the first or second single that was released from this album. Had a pretty interesting music video to go along with it. So that's my third favorite. My second favorite is The End of the Line. And definitely my number one favorite off of this album is definitely The Unforgiven III. That's right. I've heard some in the past, some Metallica fans complain about, because essentially, because there is an Unforgiven 2 and an Unforgiven 1. The first Unforgiven song was released on the Black album, and which, if you haven't seen it, I'll provide a link to my review of the Black album as well. And it's a very interesting song. Definitely the lyrics are very profound, very poetic, and yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I don't want to say anymore because, just check out my review of that. And then Unforgiven 2 was released on, I want to say, Reload. Yeah, Reload. Unforgiven 2, in which the lyrics are not as profound as the first Unforgiven, but still pretty meaningful. But as far as Unforgiven 3 goes, I definitely feel like Unforgiven 3, as far as the lyrics are concerned, definitely the most profound, poetic out of all the Unforgiven songs. But that's just me. That's obviously just my opinion. Overall, of course, I do give this album 5 metal horns, 5 out of 5 metal horns, definitely. But getting back to the Unforgiven, well, as far as the guitar work is concerned, I definitely like all the guitar riffs off this album. I like that. For me, this was pretty much the album that I was waiting for as a Metallica fan. They returned to their thrash metal roots. Granted, maybe not a complete return, but definitely a big return. I mean, considering after what they did with Saint Anger had definitely had more of a grunge, very grungy feel to it. It was good, but definitely not thrash. I mean, there were a few trace elements of thrash metal on Saint Anger. But with Death Magnetic, I remember the very first day when I was able to buy my first copy, I listened to it nonstop, pretty much for, I want to say, about a month or so, maybe 2 months. I just listened to it over and over and over, and yeah, definitely awesome. I also like the guitar solos. I like all of Kirk Hammett's guitar solos on this album, but I believe I've said before, Kirk Hammett is my favorite guitar player to begin with. I do like pretty much all of his guitar solos, but especially on this album, yeah, his guitar solos on this album definitely very, very thrashy. Also bluesy, but not too bluesy. And yeah, especially it was great to hear his guitar solos. I mean, there was absolutely, after the complete lack of guitar solos on Saint Anger, when I first listened to Death Magnetic, I was just completely elated, I guess you could say, and I just completely, I don't know if it's the right word, geeked out or fanned out. I don't know if that's a word, but I guess I was happy to hear a lot of guitar solos on this album, Death Magnetic. And also, too, definitely in the song The Unforgiven III, I would say it's definitely Kirk's best guitar solo off of this entire album. Definitely, because it's both bluesy, but also has a big thrash element to it, a big hard rock element to it, and it flows really nicely. Just overall, awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. You just gotta listen to it. If you haven't heard this album, if you haven't heard any song off of this album, though I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard at least 1 or 2 tracks off of this album. But still, either way, I'll provide links to a couple of the songs off this album, especially Unforgiven III, obviously. And so yeah, that'll do it for my review of Death Magnetic. Once again, I do give it 5 out of 5 metal horns. Yeah. I do implore you, listen to it if you haven't already. And that'll do it. Thanks for watching. More album reviews to come. Definitely after this one. You know what's coming if you're a Metallica fan. I will be reviewing Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Yeah. I've been listening to it a lot lately, so I got a lot to say about that one. It's definitely awesome. So, until then, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.